It's no secret at this point that I'm not as excited for this movie as some people are. And you know what? That's okay. Not everyone has to buy into the hype. I do understand the appeal of this film on a surface level. It's just that those types of things don't really appeal to me anymore. There was a report that came out this week where executive producer Wendy Jacobson said that grown men were sobbing on set during a Deadpool and Wolverine camera test because Hugh Jackman was wearing Wolverine's yellow suit.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
I guess I'm just built different, because as much as I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and the fact that I have no desire to see anyone ever play the role again, still, this yellow suit conversation has already gotten exhausting to me. In the 24 years that Hugh Jackman has played this role, I never once thought to myself, yeah, it's great, but it would be better if he was in a more comic accurate suit. To me, he never needed the suit. He was just that good in the role. And in a lot of ways, it feels like the only reason that they are bringing him back is to put him in that suit and use it as cheap fan service to drum up some excitement for Marvel, which has lost people's interest overall, especially lately. And you know what? That type of fan service will work for some people and not for others.
Not impressed.
That being said, as I've said many times before, it's going to take more than fan service, Easter eggs, and nostalgia bait to make me enjoy this movie. And if I'm being honest, this most recent trailer is the first time that I felt like they might actually have a somewhat decent story to go along with all of the bells and whistles. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Let's go, baby! Another Deadpool and Wolverine trailer in full effect. I'm actually going through MCU withdrawal at this point. It's not good. I might not make it to this weekend. Damn, this trailer has a whole different vibe to it already. I've waited a long time for this team up too, Wade. I might actually shit my pants and bawl my eyes out when it happens. Yes, the yellow suit is all that matters. These Wolverine flashbacks go hard. Scott Storm and Beast mentioned, we are so back. Wait, Logan and OG Sabretooth face off? We will be seated. I swear, if X-23 makes an appearance in this movie... Wait, holy X-23! This movie will be peak cinema. Wait, was Deadpool making a reference to Spider-Man? If that means what I think it means, this might be the greatest movie of all time. So as I've already said, the Easter eggs and cameos aren't really interesting to me, and I think Reaction Joe already covered most of that anyway. In this video, I want to talk about the more serious tone that is on display in this most recent trailer, which is not something that I was necessarily expecting. I understand that comedy is Deadpool's thing, and I enjoy that to an extent. But to me, you have to have real stakes contained within the film that is not drowned out by that comedy. That is, if the movie is going to resonate with me personally. Early in the trailer, Deadpool talks about how he turns everything into a joke. But he also gets serious for a moment when it's time to give the Wolverine from his universe the props that he deserves. This is, of course, the main Wolverine from the Fox X-Men universe movies.
Go f*** yourself, pretty boy.
To me, this is the first time that they've made a clear distinction between the Wolverine that died in Logan and the Wolverine that's going to be in this movie. Now, does that put my concerns about them ruining the Logan that I love to rest? Maybe a little. But as I've said before, it's still Hugh Jackman playing a version of Wolverine. So optically, I still want him to be treated with a certain level of respect in this film. And in this movie, it is clear to me that this version of Wolverine is a bit of a failure, which has become a tired trope at this point when it comes to bringing back our legacy heroes. That being said, it doesn't necessarily mean that it won't work either. But I'd be lying to you if I said that being under the Disney banner doesn't have me a little bit concerned. The key, as always, will be the execution. How this Wolverine's story arc plays out.
That makes sense.
He's clearly living with a lot of guilt, he's clearly lost a lot of people that he cares about, and he's clearly not the hero that Deadpool needs him to be in this moment. You see, Deadpool is potentially about to lose people that he loves as well, and for whatever reason he needs this Wolverine's help to prevent that from happening. In theory, that should make for some highly emotional moments throughout the course of the film that resonate with people, including myself. I did appreciate how, at least in the trailer, they continue to build upon the original Wolverine's legacy, and that is simultaneously giving this new Wolverine something to strive for. He knows that he is capable of achieving those heights. It's almost as if he is going to have to go through a hero's journey of sorts to find himself. So again, I think there is a lot of potential there. What we have is a guy who once had it all. He had a family, he had a team of people who cared about him, and he didn't appreciate it in the moment. And now, he's lost it all.
Why do you cry?
As far as them going through the Wolverine's greatest hits aspect of this film, I also can't help but feel like they are starting to show too much in these trailers. Now, the fact that they are willing to reveal so much in the trailers might speak to how much there is still to be revealed in the final film. And I'm not really sure if that will end up being a good thing or not. But I was surprised that this trailer revealed X-23 in particular. But in a weird sort of way, I understand her being included, given the tone of this trailer. X-23 was obviously a pivotal presence at the end of the original Logan's story arc and life. So to include her in this movie, where this Wolverine once again has to find himself, does make a lot of sense. It would be interesting and a nice little nod if she is the one who ultimately brings him out of his funk, in the same way that she did with the mainline Logan. Again, this is all speculation until we actually see the film, but there is a lot of potential here. I hope that they don't squander this opportunity by undermining a potentially decent story with typical Marvel bullshit.
Something very familiar about all this.
I will say that the one thing about this movie that continues to be more and more underwhelming the more I see is the visuals. It just feels like a lot of big CGI backgrounds and dull, uninspired camera work. Again, difficult to judge without seeing the final product, but it's another one of those typical MCU flaws that I do feel like is bleeding over into this film. At the end of the day, the only reason I have a remote interest in seeing this movie is seeing how they portray Hugh Jackman as Wolverine this time around. I'm interested to see how they find that balance between respecting what came before and hopefully telling this Wolverine story in a satisfying way as well.
Y'all be cool. Right on.